welcome back to episode 7 of Bulkmas. This is where we do a video every single day in the month of December. Today I wanted to go over my top 5 tips for going after the life that you want. Number 5, figure out what is the life that you want. That is a hard thing to do sometimes. I think we have to figure that out, and that can take years to do. When I was in my 20s, I think I spent most of my time pretty aimless. I didn't know what I wanted. I had no goals and I was sad. For me, it took me about 30 years of life before I realized what my passion is and what my goals should be to work toward my passion. So I spent a lot of my life living up to what I thought other people wanted me to do. I went to school, I got a good job, I got married. What was there left for me to do? I don't know. I did what I thought I was supposed to do. And once I did all of those things, I was kind of like, is that it? What next? I would go to work and then I would come home, and then at the time, the only thing I thought I could do was just to get rid of I don't even know what to call it, I guess boredom or sadness. I drank alcohol. I wouldn't consider myself an alcoholic or anything, but on most nights of the week I would come home and drink a few drinks. And it took a while of doing that to realize it wasn't helping. When I got close to turning 30, I went through a hard time, and I realized that I need to start living for myself. If you don't put you first, then who's gonna put you first? So I started making decisions for myself, and this was truly liberating. I started figuring out things that I wanted and figuring out things that I didn't want anymore. So drinking alcohol wasn't suiting me anymore. It was making me feel tired and dehydrated and unmotivated, lazy. I figured out that eating crap like Bojangles, which is just fried chicken and French fries and a biscuit, gave me a headache. I figured out what I was putting into my body was toxic and it was in excess, and I figured out when I didn't eat that way or drink that way that I felt better. And I think that good choices start small. It starts with an idea, and if you start to like the idea, maybe you start to make changes to work yourself toward that idea, and hopefully make changes for the better. I figured out that making better choices made me feel better, and I wanted to inspire other people to do the same. I think a regular exercise routine and making wiser eating decisions will not solve all your problems, but it will help tremendously. And not just with your physical state, but your mental state. And to me, that is so important. Once you figure out what is important to you, then you can make little goals to help you move closer to what you would like to see yourself doing. Put motivational content into your brain. This could be in the form of a podcast, a book, a video, like a YouTube video of sorts. A wise businessman once said something along the lines of, you are the sum of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So why not surround yourself with people that you admire? If you look at this person and you're like, wow, I wish I could do what they do. Why not listen to them, see what they have to say? If you get to know them and expose yourself to them, then you can figure out what they did to get there and give you ideas on how you might could get to where they are as well. I'm always looking for recommendations on good motivational content. I'll share with you a few of my favorites, and if you have some favorites, make sure you put them in the comments below. My top 3 favorite YouTubers that I look for their videos for inspiration, I would have to say are Tom Bilyeu, Heidi Summers, and Amy Landino. Or if you're looking for a couple of motivational books to read, my recommendations that really changed how I think about things would be Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and How to Be a Boss by Lily Singh. I really enjoyed those books, and maybe you will too. If you have any recommendations for me, please put them in the comment below. Tip number 3 is plan. Plan goal-oriented conveniences into your week. You figured out your goals, you're motivated to achieve them. Now it's time to plan a way to achieve them. For example, it may be hard to want to come home after a long day of work and be like, oh, I want to cook a healthy dinner, but I haven't even gone to the grocery store. And once you get to the grocery store, you're like, oh, I haven't even planned what I'm gonna cook. On the other hand, if you would have taken a moment to plan before your week started, this would be a non-issue. So either you could have went ahead and planned your meals for the week, or prepped your meals for the week, or even purchased your meals for the week. Something that I do that really helps me out a lot when I have a busy week ahead of me is I'll order from a meal prep service. There's one locally called Clean Eats with a Z, because they're cool. Anyway, they have pre-measured meals that are macro friendly, and they're not gonna break the bank. They're about $7 a piece, so I'll usually try to order about 7 meals for the week, and that will really help me get through the week and not feel like I have to pick up McDonald's on the way home from work because I'm in a hurry and I didn't plan anything. Let's say you have a goal of starting to exercise 3 times a week. If you do a little planning beforehand, you can set yourself up for success. Go ahead and look at your schedule for that week and figure out which 3 days that week is most convenient for you to go to the gym, and at what time is it most convenient for you to go to the gym. And then not only that, go ahead and plan out your workouts. What am I going to be working out these 3 days? You don't want to waste even more time once you get into the gym trying to figure out what you're going to work out. You want to have that all sorted out before you go. We all lean towards convenience when we're busy. And if we make our goals convenient, then they're not hard to reach. Tip number 2. Allow yourself to feel the feels. We all have days when we're feeling down on ourselves. You know, life isn't going as planned. Sometimes I just want to lay in bed and cry, and I do. It's a bonus if you have someone that's there to listen to you and for you to have a shoulder to cry on. Sometimes there's not somebody there, and that's okay too. Allow yourself to cry. Give yourself permission to feel that way. It's okay. Allow yourself to feel the sadness, to feel the disappointment, to feel the anger. Because without no struggle, there can be no growth. The struggle is what triggers our emotions. And if the pain is great enough, it will motivate us to change. And hopefully change for the better, because we don't want to feel that pain anymore. So you must accept the past. What has happened has happened. We cannot live in the past. We cannot change the past. We can only control our futures. Which brings me to my final tip. Tip number 1, pick yourself up and keep going. Okay, but how? How do I pick myself up? Well, you can't pick yourself up until you fall. So after I'm done crying, I'm usually in the bed still doing negative self-talk like, what is the point of even trying? I should just give up. I'm not making any progress. At this point, I recognize that I'm doing negative self-talk, and I force myself to stop by asking myself a couple of questions. I'll say, what will happen if you quit? Then the logical part of my brain starts to wake up, and it says, you'll say, well, Thea, you're definitely not going to reach your goals if you quit. And then I'll ask myself another question. What will happen if you keep going? When I lean into the possibility of what could happen if I keep going, that starts to get me excited, because it's exciting to go after the life that you want. So those are my top 5 tips for success. I hope you enjoyed them. If you like this kind of content, make sure you give me a thumbs up, and I would really appreciate it if you subscribed. There was a lot of serious talk in this video. Don't worry, my next video is going to be on the lighter side, so make sure you stick around for that. Okay, adorables, again, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to flex, dance a little, and go after the life you want.